Okay, so Dead by Daylight has recently released a new forum post called Optimization Status Update. Now, if you guys haven't checked it out yourself, I will leave a link of it in the description below for you guys can check it out and read everything, because I'm not going to read the entire post. But pretty much, it is an entire roadmap of what they're going to be working on in terms of optimization. Now, this is really good news, and I'm like super excited for everything that's to come for DBD in 2019. We have optimization, matchmaking being worked on, dedicated servers coming out, obviously new killers and new chapters. So much stuff that we're going to be getting with this game, and I'm just like super excited. But pretty much, if you guys haven't noticed, DBD isn't the most optimized game. There's a lot of issues with FPS when it comes to certain killers, certain like scenarios, certain maps, and a shit ton of bugs and crashes. But with this update, we're going to be getting a lot of improvements in all those categories. So this is what the forum reads. Over the past 6 months, we have allocated strike teams with the mission of improving the overall health of the game. As announced last December, we have developers working on a new matchmaking algorithm which we are actively testing and are almost ready to deploy. We are also targeting to migrate the games and dedicated servers by the end of summer 2019. So those are the two things that we're going to be getting first, which is really good because, you know, matchmaking has always been an issue, especially on console. I've heard. I play on PC primarily, so it isn't that bad, but there are still some cases where we do have to wait a long time just to get into a game. So matchmaking being worked on is already great, and then dedicated servers, I mean, everyone has been asking for that for a while. No one likes playing on someone else's connection, and hopefully this will help everyone's experience playing the game. This blog post was meant to update you on the efforts put on optimization which aim to enhance the overall game's performance. When we first released Dead by Daylight back in 2016, we targeted 30 FPS on our minimum spec. Up until recently, we optimized the game in bursts. For the console launch and before releasing a new killer, we are now ready to set a new performance target. Dead by Daylight will run at 60 FPS on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and minimum specs PCs. So that's already great on itself. I don't know how much FPS console run at, but I'm assuming they weren't running at 60 FPS, so I assumed it was at 30. So off the top, you're already going to be getting a better experience on console now that the game will be running at 60 FPS. 60 FPS should be the baseline for almost every game nowadays, and now you guys are going to be getting that, so that's obviously really good news. Minimum specs PCs, now you don't need to have a monstrous PC to play DVD. You can have, I don't know actually what the minimum specs are, but I assume it's something that's in the range of most decent gaming PCs, or most budget PCs. So almost everyone can run the game pretty much at a good frame rate from what I'm reading in this post. Now, the one thing they didn't mention was the Switch, but that's like on a whole nother topic because we haven't, like, the Switch hasn't been released yet, and from what we've seen in that trailer, the game looks hideous and it looks like it's running at 5 FPS. So it seems like hopefully maybe with these optimization fixes on the current platforms that we have, maybe that'll be transformed onto the Switch later in the future, but we'll just have to wait and see. Reaching 60 FPS on Dead by Daylight is not an easy task. It is a multifaceted iterative process that started 6 months ago and will be ongoing for months. Our strike team of programmers dedicated to optimizing the game has their hands deep in the game code. To summarize, optimization improves the frame rate by using less CPU and GPU cycles to update and render the world faster without any apparent loss of quality. So pretty much, like they stated right there, the goal is to pretty much use less CPU and GPU while making the game still run better and look better. Now in step 1, they pretty much just talk about the engine that they're using and the fact that they're going to be updating it. So if you don't know, DBD runs on Unreal Engine, which is one of the engines that's most highly used when it comes to a lot of games that we play. And if you don't know about this engine, then I'm kind of shocked because a lot of games run on this engine. So they pretty much say that they're going to be updating it to 4.21 around the time where Chapter 11 comes out, especially because the newer version of the engine has better features that can help them improve a lot of things within the game. Step 2 pretty much just talks about their CPU, GPU, and contextual optimizations, which they pretty much state that the CPU, they're going to be using a different system that's going to help reduce the stress on the CPU. So pretty much getting better frame rate, while the GPU optimizations, pretty much they're also changing the system. They're going to be using a different anti-aliasing system that'll make everything look better and render better while also using less GPU resources. And then the contextual optimization pretty much talks about like the specific things in game that cause different lag spikes and different frame rates. So for example, there was a big bug not too long ago, and I think it was recently fixed, with the Wraith, where if you would use Sloppy Butcher, it would just cause so much lag that the game would be unbearable and just you couldn't play it. You just would leave instantly. Things like that, just specific things that cause really bad frame rate, is things that they're going to be working on with, which is going to take a lot of time, because you have to pretty much test almost every different scenario with like different survivors, different actions, different perks, maps, killers, everything. So the fact that they're going to be working on that is really good, but it just shows that it's going to take a while, but they know that it's out there. Now, step 3 is pretty much one I really enjoyed, because they talk about the future of DBD and how this is going to help with a lot of things. So they'd say, while we optimize the existing gameplay and graphic systems, we develop better tools and methods to implement new features. When we have a new process figured out, it is documented and shared with our development team, who can then apply these learnings for the creation of new content. Pretty much what that means is, if the game starts running better and looking better and giving more tools to the devs, they can actually do things that we didn't think would be on DBD. So like there's always talks about like different killers and different possibilities, and could this be in the game? Could they pull this off? Could they do this? Could they do that? When it comes to maps, actions, features, where they talked about a different end game. Fixing the optimization and making the game run better and look better can open up the possibility of all these different things in the game. And that's just exciting, man, because it just shows that, DBD is going to be improving so much more in the future. They say our objective is to offer a better performance on all platforms, making the game look smoother and the controls more reactive. Still doing such major changes all at once, game engine update and rewriting game code is bound to briefly disrupt things and requires some adaptation time. We hope you understand that this is a transition period and an investment to improve the game. Don't hesitate to share your feedback on the forums or on our social media if you encounter an issue. Our objective is to keep you updated on our progress in the upcoming months. The upcoming Dead by Daylight anniversary will be a great timing to give you additional visibility on our progress. So lastly, they pretty much just talk about that it's a process. It's not going to be a 1-2 switch. We're not going to go from the current patch we're on to the next one and then the game is instantly like fixed and everything is changed. It's going to be a while. It's going to be in the upcoming patches. We'll notice differences along the lines, and then hopefully we'll get to the end point, which is where the game just runs so much better. There's not as many bugs. There's new features in the game that we've didn't think was possible, and that's honestly worth the wait in my opinion, especially with all the other changes that we're going to be getting with matchmaking and with dedicated servers. So yeah, pretty much this is just all really good news, and it's really good to be a Dead by Daylight player right now, especially with all the announcements that we've been getting. And yeah, like they said, always share the feedback to them on the forums and on social media. They're always active, so if you guys ever encounter bugs or issues or stuff, always report it, because they don't know what to work on if they don't know about the issue. So if you're one of the people who experience it and no one else has experienced it, then if you report it, they know that the issue's out there and then they can get working on it. But now I want to pass on the discussion to you guys. What do you guys think about this? How many people are excited? Where are my console players at? And the Switch people, hopefully don't lose hope, and maybe this could be a silver lining for you guys. And my last question would be, what would you like to see added or changed in DBD, knowing that we're going to be getting optimization changes and game fixes? So like what kind of killers, what kind of different possibilities to like the end game, to like just the core game? What are things that you want to see or think that can be added / changed in the game? Aside from that, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, and if you want to check out my other DBD videos or DBD videos in the future, feel free to subscribe. Aside from that, I'll see you guys next time.